Hey everyone, I hope everyone is safe from all these storms that are going through. Ours isn't until later, and I'm still upstairs. But remember when I got this? I hope this is not backwards, but I bought that at the Salvation Army store. It's brand new, it's never been opened. And of course, I paid $4, this was originally $3.99, $4, but I got it for half off, so I paid $2 for this. And I thought, since I'm upstairs, Ashley brought this upstairs for me, and I thought we might try to make some crystals. I don't know. I've never done it. And I thought it might be fun if we just opened it up together and did it today. So that's what we're going to do. Just an update. I'm waiting to see the orthopedic doctor, and that will be on Tuesday. I will know more after I see him, and I will be so glad to be able to get back downstairs and start doing my thing again. But I still feel blessed because I'm still able to get around a little bit, mostly with a cane or a wheelchair, but it's still a blessing. And I can still get on here and do a few little things up here. And I may be sliding down the steps tonight if it gets too bad, so we will see. Debbie is still in the hospital, by the way. And I do like the doctor that is at the hospital. I've talked to him a couple of times, and we are hoping, we thought maybe she would get to come home today, but we really have a lot of hope that it will be tomorrow. It's been a week, and she needs to be here, not there. So I want to thank you all for all the prayers, and that is one of the reasons why, if you notice my thumbnail, that was a picture of me that, yes, I'm on the AI wagon. I am. I went to Chat GBT, I believe is what it's called, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. I don't take it seriously because, of course, it's not real, okay? And I'm about as real as you're going to ever find. But it is fun to play around because I am creative. I enjoy going in and playing around with different images. So I put an image of me. I changed the image on my YouTube, my little thing. I look similar to this on my YouTube because I did it today. But I took that same image and put it under ChatGPT and said, turn me into a comic book character. And then I actually asked it to do a thumbnail for me with a big retro word thank you in it. And so my thumbnail is from that, from my imagination and my creativity, telling it what to do and using my picture. But then I also added making crystals with a question mark because I have no idea how this is going to turn out. But the big thank you on there is just to reach out to each and every one of you for being so loving and so supportive, and all the prayers and all the well wishes for both me and Debbie, and it means so much to both of us. So I just wanted to do that. So all of you, every one of you, I just want to say thank you. So that's what the thumbnail says in big bold, thank you. Okay, let's get started. Let me see. Yeah, I'm going to play around with this. Oh, the curling iron. You know, I mentioned in my last video that I got a curling iron. Oh, this is going to be fun. Because I couldn't. Goodness. I'm sorry, close your eyes for a minute. I'll tell you when to open them. It's going. I'm having to unscrew this thing, okay? And I know I'm making myself dizzy, so I'm trying to loosen it so I can, oop, oh, yep. Oh, that's as tall as it gets. Oh, poo-poo hiss. Okay, well. Okay. Bear with me, y'all. I'm normally downstairs where I've got everything set up the way it's supposed to. Let me see if I've got something I can set this on to get it to go up a little bit further. And thankfully I still have the J. Diction silicone rubber, which I do want to get to. Okay. And this dice game, y'all didn't say anything about the dice game last time. I really wanted your input on that. Oh, this is going to be wonky, but maybe it will work. Okay, I raised it up enough. Let's see if I can loosen it. Oh, that's what you need to see. A big, a huge Beth face. Right, okay. That's as far down as I can tilt it. Woo, is that going to work? Ooh, that may work. Okay. Oh, okay, this may work. Yeah, I'm doing my happy dance. Can you tell? No, you can't tell. Let me turn it around so. Oh, that's backwards too. Okay. This says ages plus. I may show my ignorance here before this is all over with. I'm hoping it's where you can actually do the formation and not just learn about it. But we're gonna, there, that's what it looks like. That is, let's just take these out. Now it says you can create, so we're going to see. You know, the funny thing is, as kids, did you ever get like science kits? See, I never got science kits. What I got was the arts and craft kits, like the, oh, what do you call the spirograph? And then I got the pot holder where you could make your own pot holders. And then I got the pottery wheel, the little pottery wheel. And then I got the little polishing rock polisher. And all those little things like that is what I got as a kid. I never got the scientific kits. I always wanted a microscope too, and nope, I always got some kind of crafty thing instead. And even though this is crafty, to me this is more on a science level. And I have to say, science was not one of my best subjects in school. Math was my actual best subject. I was straight A's in math. English, I was horrible at. Not the language part, but the storytelling and having to decipher poetry and the meanings of stories, and I never got it like everybody else did. My thought process was always off. I was the lone wolf, I guess, the one that was totally outside the normal box. So yeah, I never quite got it the way everybody else did. I don't know. Okay, this is a lot of different stuff, and I'm not quite sure Well, I'm almost thinking I could try that silhouette. No, the silicone rubber. I wonder how bad it smells. Ooh, I like that. I could see using that for glitter. Look at that scoop. Oh, that's cool. And say I could see using this with the silicone rubber on the little bitty things. I could see using that. And I could see using these, mixing the silicone rubber up. And then this is like a peach tree, right? No, not a no. Y'all knew what I meant, right? That thing. Oh, Lord have mercy. So, yeah, and I'm not quite sure why they're string. Oh, this, I bet a lot of the crystals have something to grow on. I'm thinking that's what the string is for. Now, I'm telling you what. I have a thing with brains, okay? I really do. And that just reminds me of brains again. You remember when NT Resin sent me a brain mold? I just couldn't believe it. I thought, why in the world would anybody want a brain mold? It's just, yeah, and I tried it. I mean, I'm open-minded enough to, I did pour it. I tried to make it into something that didn't look like a brain. I couldn't get past it. Now okay, this could be more like a rock, though. Yeah, this is more, hopefully. It's still got that dynamic, though. I do like this. I do like the conch shell, cone shell, whatever you want to call it. I do like that. That would be really cool with crystal. I'm not quite sure why I have a star-looking thing for a crystal. I'm not quite sure what that is. It does have gloves. Whether they're good or not, we're going to have to use those gloves because that's all I've got up here. Oh, wow. It comes with goggles. Okay, I'm sort of impressed with this. Not that I need them because I have glasses on. But safety goggles, you know? I think that's pretty cool, actually. Have any scissors. Sorry about that. That was loud, I know. Okay. This does not say what it is. Unless that's all different. Oh my word, that's all different languages. Okay, where's the English at? Alum? Is that what this is? Alum? A-L-U-M, I think. Okay. And... oh, this is crazy. I'm looking for English, but it It is not the first one. PT is the first one. Jessup? Jimson? Gesso. Jimson. That's odd. Okay. Danger. This has got danger. Perigo, danger. What is this stuff then? Sodium silicate? silicate, sodium silicate. There's only half of a bottle of that, not a full bottle. That's so odd. Half of a bottle. We know this was brand new because it was still sealed. Red food coloring. It's red food coloring. This is copper. That's copper. Oh wow, this might be fun, y'all. Magnesium sulfate. And yellow food coloring. So we've got yellow food coloring. I don't know why we have yellow and red, but we don't have any other. Yellow and red food coloring. Okay. So that is it for that. Okay. And then we have congratulations. I don't know why that's in here. You have been selected to receive a $5 Platts rebate. I wonder how old this is. Platts. It's P-L-A-Y-Z, USA. Plays, maybe plays. Okay. And then this has all the different languages. Man, I'm just amazed by it. This is all different languages. Let me go over here and see. Okay, EN. Recommendations for substances and mixtures. Do not ingest. Avoid contact with eyes and mouth. Use only according to the instructions. Store in tightly closed containers. Keep in a cool, dry place. Protect from moisture, direct sunlight, and heat sources. Okay, I have no idea. This is not suitable for children under 8. I'm wondering if it's suitable for me. Oh, goodness. Can you believe I'm 65 years old and I have never played with making crystals before? Have y'all? I'm sure a lot of you have. The safety rules say, read these instructions before using. Y'all know me, I don't normally read instructions, but since I don't have a clue, I am going to read. Keep young children, animals, and those not wearing eye protection away from an experimental area. Oh, this is an experimental area. Well, at least I'm real close to the front door. I can throw it out the front door if I have to. Always wear eye protection. Maybe I should put those on even over my glasses. Do not eat or drink in this experimental area. Do not allow chemicals to come into contact with the eyes or the mouth. Do not replace foodstuffs in original container. Do not apply any substances or solutions to the body. Well, let's hope not. Do not grow crystals where food or drink is handled or in bedrooms. I wonder why not in bedrooms. Why not in bedrooms, y'all? Do you know the answer to that? I do understand why it says where food or drink is handled, but why in the bedrooms? It says or in the bedrooms. Take care while handling with hot water and hot solutions. You're supposed to have hot water. Ensure that during growth of the crystal, the container with the liquid is out of reach of children. Okay, I could see that. Where am I supposed to be putting this if I cannot put it in bedrooms or where we have food? I'm not putting it in the living room, so where else would I put this? In the bathroom? Warning, this product contains ginseng powder. Keep younger children under the specific age limit animals away from the activity area. Store chemical toys out of the reach of young children. Do not place material in the mouth. Do not inhale dust or powder. Do not apply to the body. So you really need a mask, and I don't have a mask up here. Wow, really? Will this stuff burn you? It says in case of skin contact and burns. I mean, and they've got this for 8+. I'm beginning to think maybe not. Oh, wow. It says even in case of emergency. Now this is a little, It, it does. It says in case of emergency dial for US, for UK, for Australia, and for Europe. Is that right? Is that the actual... Wow, I didn't realize that growing crystals. I've known people that did it. I did not think it was that big a deal, but I'm telling you what. I mean, they're making it sound like it is. I'm wondering if this is a good thing to do right here. Okay. What is 2? That says it's the mold for the geode. So what is 2? I don't see anything that looks like that. The mold for geode. You're calling this, okay. This is where my ignorance is going to show. You're calling this a, I'm not even going to say it right. A whelk shaped mold. Helk is the W silent. Helk shaped mold. WHELK. Is that the type of shell it is? I mean, that's a shell. I call it a cone shell. I don't know. But that's the cone shell. What is this? Oh, that's what 2 is. That's the mold for the geode. Really? Okay. That's the mold for the geode. 12 is the star-shaped mold. I don't understand. I wouldn't think crystals in this would, but you know, I don't know. Okay. Number 3. Are the bottles numbered? No. Potassium alum. So that was the alum. I think that was it right here. Yeah, the potassium alum. Okay. Then the ginseng, and then sodium silicate. Sodium silicate, maybe. And then that small little one was copper sulfate, magnesium sulfate. 19 is magnesium sulfate. Okay, that's magnesium sulfate. That is a car right outside the house here. Okay. Petri dish. I called it a peach tree. It's a petri dish. I knew what it was. It just didn't come out of my mouth that way. Okay. And they're calling this woolen yarn. That's woolen yarn. Okay. What are they calling those? 13. They're calling these modeling metal wires. So these are modeling metal wires. I've never heard them called that before, but okay. Then we've got gloves. We've got the small measuring cups, the large measuring cups, the wooden spatulas, craft sticks. Craft sticks is what they're calling wooden spatulas. Okay, let's see if I can say this. Pasteur pipettes. Pasteur pipettes. Yes, I'm having fun with this. Pasteur. It's pipettes. I know they're pipettes, y'all. I really don't leave a comment in there, please, telling me that I'm saying it wrong. I know what they are, but I am always going to call them pipettes because I just like to, and that's what I do. And I sort of like the Pasteur pipettes. So if I start calling these Pasteur pipettes, it's from it's from this book. Okay, and let's see. We've got a plastic container with lid. So I'm assuming that is for that. And they're calling this a plastic spatula. And that covers everything, I believe. And the gloves, of course. That's over here. Okay. So we're not making real fast progress with this. So I'm just going to read this to you. Do you want to know more about the Crystal Factory? What Crystal Factory, I don't know anything. What are they talking about, Crystal Factory? Become a real scientist and discover the curiosities we have for you at the following link. Okay. Oh, wow, this is actually UK, guys. This is a UK link for Science for You toys in UK. Fundamental concepts to produce crystals. Now, for all of y'all that have never ever attempted to do this like me, this will be good for you. I'm hoping anyway. Okay. Before you start producing crystals, we need to talk about the fundamental concept, the solutions. What is a solution? Well, I know what. Okay, we're never mind. Let's just read this. A solution is I can't even read. Homogenized mixture of two or more substances in which the substance dissolved is called a solute and normally is in small amounts. Oh, wow. Am I going to have to remember all this? The substance dissolved is called solute and normally is in small amounts. The substance that dissolves is called solvent and normally is present in larger quantities than the solute. Okay, the solute is already dissolved. The solvent is one that will dissolve. That makes absolutely no sense to me. Okay, now it does. A solution is a mixture of solute. Example, sugar. And a solvent, and the solvent is water. So the sugar dissolves in the water. Now that makes sense. So the solute is the, what's the word? The whole. The whole item, the non-liquid item. The solute is the non-liquid item, and the solution is the liquid item. To me, that makes more sense. Okay. Considering their composition, solutions can also be defined as. Why do you need to know all this? Okay. A solution in which there are less particles of solute than of solvent. Okay, you guys. Okay. A solution in which no more solute can be dissolved, having the proper equilibrium at room temperature. Okay, no. A solution that contains more of the dissolved material than could be dissolved by the solvent under normal circumstances. However, if we hear this solution, it's possible to dissolve all the solute. Good gracious. Y'all, seriously? Bless their heart, whoever wrote this. Types of solutions. You got liquid, that's solvent. And you have solute. Like sugar cubes, okay? You got water, that's a solvent. You got sugar cubes, that's known as the solute. If you only put one sugar cube in the water, it's considered unsaturated. If you put 3 in the water, it's considered supersaturated. But if you only put 2 in the water, it's considered saturated. So very little is still considered saturated. A little bit more is considered saturated. And a lot is considered supersaturated. That makes sense. Okay. In saturated and supersaturated solutions, the probability of 2 solute molecules finding each other is very high. As so, in order to create crystals, you will also need to make this type of solutions. So, you want your crystal solution to be at least saturated, but preferably supersaturated. If you don't put enough solid in with the liquid, you're not going to form crystals as easily. That's basically what all this is saying. Okay. Solubility. The solubility of a substance is the maximum amount of the substance that will dissolve in a given amount of solvent, which is liquid, and at a specific temperature. Several factors influence the solubility. A rise in temperature, for example, benefits the molecule's agitation, which helps in dissolution, which means it helps it to dissolve. In other words, it's easier to dissolve a solute in a hot solvent than in a cold one. We all already know that. Did you know that not all solutions are liquid? No. Solutions can be liquid, example, milk with chocolate powder. Solid, example, bronze is made of copper and zinc. Oh, and that's still considered a solution. Okay. And gaseous, atmospheric air. Do we need to know that to make crystals with, though? No, I do not think so. Important notes before you start. Woo-wee. This is going to be a long video, y'all. You must always put your protective goggles and gloves in order to perform every experiment. That is good for pretty much everything we do on my channel, except maybe if we're going to watercolor or we're going to just paint something with chalk paint. Even then, gloves are good because it keeps your hands from getting all horribly stained. But protective gear, we all know, is very important, so please use it. It is very important that you wash all your materials before and after performing an experiment. I understand this because it can throw something off. By doing this, you avoid contamination. Doing the same experiment, never use the same material to different reagents without washing it first. That means if you use it, then wash it out to reuse it. You must be careful and use the quantities indicated in each experiment so you can perform as many experiences as possible. Okay. Now on something like this, and if you've watched many of my videos, you will know I am I do me. I don't read instructions very often. And if somebody tells me that, well, you're supposed to do it this way, just because somebody says you do it that way, I'm not prone to do it that way. I'm prone to do it the way I want to do it. But there are areas where I throw that right out and I do follow the exact measurements. And when it's talking about something that has scientific molecules to form something, you better believe I'm going to follow it exactly, because I don't have a clue. Okay. If you want to perform some experiment, but the materials indicated are being used in another experiment, you may use some similar materials you have at home, like cups. Which means if you're using these and you want to use something else, you can use other cups you have at home. I would say you throw away plastic cups or paper cups. Okay. Woo-wee! It says, you are now ready to start the experiments. Let's go! I'm not sure if I'm ready yet or not. It says, materials included in this kit. I think we've already gone over this, but we'll go over it again. The signs of the, oh, here we go. This word, I love this. Pasteur pipette. Pasteur pipette. What you will need. Yes, I'm having fun with this. Large measuring cup, water. Oh, here's that word again. Pasteur pipette. Okay, we need the large measuring cup, the pasteur pipette. Let's move this other stuff. And a small measuring cup. Small measuring cup. Okay. Let's get all this other stuff out of the way. So this is what they're saying that we need right now. Oh, you can't see it. Okay. That's what they said that we need. And water. Ooh. My water for my watercolor is right there. So I have water. Start by filling the large measuring cup with water. Now you will use the pasteur pipette. Observe that it's squidgety. The pasteur pipette is squidgety and softer on the upper part. Oh, this is so bad. Okay. Yeah, that it's squidgety and softer on the upper part knob and thinner and harder on the other end, or the tip. Okay. Okay. So that you can use it correctly, you must squeeze the knob, the soft part of the pasteur pipette. This way all the air inside will come out. Okay. So you're squeezing it before you put it in the water. Right? Now with the knob squeezed, place the tip of the pasteur pipette into the water and slowly release the knob. Did you notice how the water started filling up the pasteur pipette's tube? Now you can transfer the liquid in the pasteur pipette without it dropping. Pour 10 drops of water into the small measuring cup. Press the knob lightly and you will see the drops coming out of the pasteur pipette one by one. And it shows you. It is very important that you follow these steps and carefully pour drops one by one, making sure you control the quantities you need. Okay. Is that supposed to be experiment 1? That is experiment 1. Oh goodness, that was the experiment. Okay, well, then let's do the experiment 1. We're going to pour water into here. We are going to squeeze the end, put it in, unsqueeze the end. And how many drops does it say? It didn't say how many drops, y'all. Squeeze the tip of it into the water and slowly release. Yes, now you can transfer the liquid. Oh, pour 10 drops of the water into the small measuring cup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh wow, that's 10 drops. Do y'all see that? It doesn't even look like there's anything in there, and that's 10 drops. That's going to evaporate before you do anything with it. Okay. What you will need for the crystalline garden. Hazard statement: harmful to swallow, causes skin irritation, causes serious eye irritation. Very toxic to aquatic-like long-lasting effects. Oh, good gracious. So this was obsolete. Okay. What are we supposed to do? I don't know. This may not work, y'all. Let's go. Okay. It says attention, ask an adult for help. Well, they'd be lost if they came to me. Oh my word! This is saying that you need a small saucepan or a bowl proper for microwave. What is this? You know what? I don't know. Okay, this is crazy, y'all. I don't see anything in here. Oh, good gracious. I don't see anything in here. See, I don't understand this. I'll read this real quick. It says what you'll need, okay? And it says that you need the potassium allium, the water, food coloring, the pasteur pipette, small saucepan or bowl proper for microwave, large measuring cup, small measuring cup, wooden spatula, and petri dish. Start by adding an adult to heat some water. Oh, you're heating the water in a microwave, or okay. Now measure 10 milliliters hot water in the small measuring cup and then pour it into the large measuring cup. Be careful not to get burnt. Carefully add potassium alum to the water and stir well with a wooden spatula with the pasteur pipette and 2 drops of food coloring. You'd like to stir the solution again. Finally, pour the solution into the Petri dish and wait for 24 hours until beautiful bright crystals form. Okay, this is something, if we do it today, you're not going to get to see it anyway. Oh, poo-poo. In a solution with water, dissolve more salt. Let's see if there's one in the book. Okay, we're gonna read through this real quick. This is experiment 4. This is using what I call the cone shell mold. Okay, you need the Jimson, the mold, the potassium alum, the water, food coloring, porcelain mug. What's the porcelain mug for? 2 large measuring cups, 2 small measuring cups, wooden spatula, plastic spatula that does not come with it, plastic container with lid, absorbent paper, a plate, and a pasteur pipette. Add potassium alum to the small measuring cup using this plastic spatula, that's this right here, to help you. Then transfer it into a large measuring cup. Why would you transfer it into a large? Why wouldn't you just... Because it doesn't have the 3. Okay, that answers the question. This has got 3 ml on it, evidently, which I cannot see at all. I do have a light over here, though. No, this doesn't have 3. It's got 5. I guess maybe I guess maybe that one would be 3 ml. Okay. I would not. I would just measure out the alum powder, and if you got to pour it in the big one anyway, it seems like it would be better just to put the liquid in there and pour the alum powder in there instead of mixing in there and then pouring it in there. Now measure 15 mLs of Jimson in the small measuring cup. Transfer it into the large measuring cup. Then measure 6 mLs of water in the small measuring cup. If you want to give color to the Jimson, add to the water 2 drops of coloring that you like using a pasteur pipette. You'll have to be very fast performing steps 5 and 7 so the Jimson does not solidify in the cup. Make sure the whelk-shaped mold is near you. Transfer the water into the large measuring cup where the mixture of Jimson and potassium alum is. Mix well with the wooden spatula until you get a homogeneous, yes, that kind of mixture. All in the same color. If there's a Jimson stuck on the sides of the cup, use a spatula to remove them. If it has solidified, add some droplets of water with the pasteur pipette. Transfer the mixture into the whelk-shaped mold. Leave the Jimson whelk to dry for about 2 hours. After an hour and 30 minutes, you can start prepping the next steps. Okay. Okay, you need to heat water in a porcelain cup. Okay, you do not take this out of the mold. After this dries for 2 hours, you're going to pour another mixture on top of it, covering this. Okay, you take that out, you put it in here. Is that going to fit? No, that's not going to fit. Why? doesn't make any sense. I'm having a hard time understanding any of this in here. Okay, you do remove it from the mold. Finally, place it in the plastic container, facing face down. It won't fit in here, though. That is not going to fit in this plastic container, and it's the only plastic container they gave in the kit. It's not going to fit in that plastic container, even though it shows that it should. I mean, come on, y'all. They expect this to fit in this. I mean, it's not going to happen. Okay. And after 24 hours, you put another solution on top of the shell. And you let it set for 24 hours after that. And it's supposed to make it shiny. Oh yeah, because there's crystals that pop up. And I see that would be really cool. But you're talking about almost 2 days worth of stuff. Because this, you've got to do this. You've got to wait for that to dry. Yeah, none of this is real fast. I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking a couple hours you could see. It shows how much I know. Oh yeah, some of this is 2 days long. Oh wow. Can you really make that? Oh look, it's a picture of a crystal. I could get addicted to that if that's truly what you could make with this stuff. And maybe this is being a little bit more complicated than, what's the geode? Let's see, Jimson, the mold for geode, potassium alum, water, food coloring, porcelain cup, measuring cups, plastic spatula, pasteur pipette, newspaper sheet. What's the newspaper sheet for? A cup. Oh, that's to cover the table to protect it. Okay. You measure 5 ml of potassium alum in the small measuring cup. You transfer it to the large measuring cup. Then you add 40 ml of Jimson to the large measuring cup. So it's Jimson and the potassium alum. And then water. You transfer all the content of the cup into the mold for the geode. And after that has solidified, now scientists, you have to be very bold. With a wooden spatula, spread the Jimson on the mold walls. Only this way can you make sure that the mold is covered with Jimson and with a space in the middle for the crystal to grow. Okay, I see. You're making the outer walls and putting an area for the crystals to grow inside. Okay, and then once that solidifies, you have to pour more in, and you have to wait Oh, yeah. Another 48 hours. Okay. Well, so this is not... Oh, Lord, they have crystalline eggs in here. See, that's what you're basically doing. You're creating the outer and then leaving that and then pouring the stuff that makes the crystals on the inside. And then they've got, this is experiment 9. Then they have the crystalline eggs where you use table salt, 1 egg, measuring cup water, paintbrush, scissors, food coloring, and pasture pipette. Okay, what do you do with an egg? Let's read this. Make a hole in the top and at the bottom of the egg using scissors. Ask an adult for help. Place a plate under the egg and blow through one of the holes. You're removing the egg out of the eggshell. Okay, the egg white will come out first. Save this part of the egg as you will need it in the following steps. You're going to use the egg white. You will not need the yolk, and as the egg white is out, put the egg on another plate so that these two parts don't get mixed. With a scissor and the help of an adult, cut the eggs from the holes in 2 halves. Okay, so you're cutting the egg in half. Wash both halves of the eggshell with water from a tap. Woo-wee, is that not gonna... Okay. Be careful not to break the eggshells. I'm thinking you run this under tap water and try to dry it. You're going to be breaking it. Now brush the inside of the eggshells with the egg white. Okay, you're brushing the eggshell with egg white. The egg white will work as glue. Sprinkle the inside of the eggshells with table salt. Leave the eggshells to dry over newspaper sheets for about 1 hour. Leave the eggshells to dry. Okay. While you wait, you can prepare a solution of table salt. Ask an adult to heat water. Measure 4 times of water in a small measuring cup in order to measure that quantity. Then put the water in the large measuring cup. Add table salt to the water and stir until the salt does not dissolve anymore. Transfer the solution into a new large measuring cup, making sure the table salt that did not get dissolved doesn't pass to the new cup. Add to the solution some drops of the food coloring that you like using the pasture pipette. Leave the solution to cool a little at room temperature. At the same time, place one of the eggshells inside the bowl with the opening face down. Pour the solution into the eggshell. The solution will overflow. Don't worry, this is expected. Wait until crystals start appearing. After a while, you'll have created a fantastic crystalline egg. Whenever you want, repeat steps 8 to 14 for the other half of the eggshell. Okay, so that is just salt and hot water with an egg. Okay, now that's sort of cool, which I can't really do online because I can't do it on camera because it would take too long. But you know what I am going to do on this video? It looks like I'm not going to be able to really do any of these on this video, but what I am going to do in the details, or if you click more up underneath the video and you click more, I will put the recipe that is in here for the crystalline egg. So if you're, because what I'm thinking, if you can form crystals like this and then you use silicone rubber to make a mold, you get one of those crystal molds. And that's exactly what I was wanting to do. And that's exactly what I am going to try the egg one, because that that is something I don't have to worry about if the animals, you know, it's just hot water and salt and an egg with egg white. All non-toxic stuff. Which I don't mind doing this other stuff downstairs, but I do have a real issue with doing any of this upstairs because we have 2 animals up here. Oh no, see, that's really cool. But that's the pea tree, and this is all stuff I need to be doing downstairs. But I can do the egg up here. Okay. And I'm going to look through this real quick and see if there's not another little simple thing that y'all can do too without any of this other stuff. Because this crystalline egg, you can do at home without having to need a kit. Which is really cool. And I'm looking through this real quick to see if there's not something else. Okay, here's another one. Stalagmites. Porcelain cup, sea salt, teaspoon, measuring cup, woolen yarn. Everybody has yarn, right? Everybody has yarn. FedEx is coming to the door. But everybody has some kind of yarn. Paper clips, petri dish, water, scissors. I don't have any paper clips. Start by asking adults to help you heat water. Okay, and you're going to add 6 spoons of sea salt to the water. Attention, you must add spoon by spoon and keep stirring. Mix well until you dissolve as much salt as you can. Okay. Attach to each end of the woolen yarn a paper clip. We don't have paper clips. But what you're going to do is you press the yarn that stays in the middle of the cups, and you've got 2 cups, like 2 of these, okay? You get 2 cups like this. And just imagine if this had paper clips on each end. The paper clip's going to go down in the cup, and the other paper clip's going to go down in the cup, and then you're going to have this yarn going across like that. And it says to place a dish up underneath. Okay, and you do want all the yarn to be wet too. So it says to use the pipet, the pasteur pipet, to wet the middle of the yarn. Oh, that can take almost a week. Okay, but that is something you can do at home without anything but yarn and sea salt. And it's going to form right there things hanging off of it like this. Okay, here's another thing. Salt flour, coffee filter paper, scissors, stapler, petri dish, water, a small, large measuring cup, sea salt, wooden spatula, and colored markers. I think what I'm going to do is up underneath the thing, anything that doesn't have all this other stuff, anything that I find in here that I think that you could use. You know what I'm going to do? Instead of putting it, because there's at least 4 of them in here that I know of, what I will do, because I just found another thing over here. Yeah, there's going to be at least 4 or 5 things that you can do at home that you don't need all this special stuff. You will have what you need to do a lot of this. And so what I'll do is I will go in and I will write them all down. And then if you want the different ones, just in the comment below, let me know that you've sent me an email, and my email is anniestudioClayArt@gmail.com. It's listed so you don't have to remember it for me saying it. I want you to email me and let me know that you want it. Basically, the only reason why you need to do that is so I've got your email, so I've got one that I can send it to. And I will just email you what I type up. And to be quite honest, I'm going to do this on ChatGPT. I am going to type all this in very quickly, and they will format it in a way that it will be really easy for you. And it won't be pages and pages and pages like this is, there's several pages. And it will be in a very readable format that way. And I will do that for you. That way you can try it at home, because none of this is where I can do this right here where you can see the results right away. And so even though this was sort of fun, and there was actually a lot of funny things about it, it's not something that I can do today, which is sort of sad, but I did get to discover that there's another name for these pipets. I know they're pipets, y'all, but in my world they're pipets. And see, I can do that because it's my world. So, at least we now know what came in this. And I am going to keep it all together. And I will, now I don't know if I will, Max I think might really, really like this. So I may have Max, and I know John likes stuff like this too, so I may have Max and John make them for me. And then we can just make the fun part, which is the molds. I don't know if I want to use the food coloring though. What I want to do is see this, if this food coloring will work and mix the mold. Because I think that's just regular food coloring. And if it is, I'd love to know. We don't have food coloring at the house because we don't use it. Food coloring in your body is not good. So we don't use it for cooking. But I have this, and I would love to know if it works in mixed mold. So it all fit in this little thing. That box is huge. It was a huge, there's the box. I guess I could put it back in the box. That box is huge for this stuff. And I guess I could put it back in the box where it would be safe. I will do that. And then I will see if John and Max don't want to make these crystals. I will let them know that I get to have the crystals to make molds with once they form. At least one of them. And so now I feel like we need to really do something so I think what we're going to do is we're going to do a real easy exercise in this book, because you saw me do this. Now, I really don't want to, I don't really want to, this is slick. This is not going to work. This would work really good with alcohol ink, so, because it is slick. But it's not going to work real well. Here's some picture. Did you see it? I still don't have it framed. Let me show y'all this. The Facebook group. has already seen this, and you have not, and I forgot about it. I was really bored the other night. I don't draw faces. I have never even attempted to draw faces. I have never been good at drawing faces. And I was bored, and I had this sitting next to me when I had my foot propped up, so I attempted to draw a face. And that is my very first pencil face, with a mechanical pencil at that. No, I have no idea. I don't know. It's out of my imagination. I don't have a clue. Somebody asked me, actually several people asked me, well, does that look like somebody you know? No, it does not. I actually went on GPT. Let me see if I can show this to you. I actually went on GPT and asked them, I downloaded this, and I asked them to turn my drawing into a comic book hero, and oh, it was hilarious. Let me see if I can pull it up. I don't even know if I can pull it up on my phone. But yeah, it knows me. It says, hello, Beth. Let's see. Comic hero transformation. Okay. Now, this is the very first one that it made. But then I take the exact image that I drew and make it into a comic book hero, because sometimes, you know, they change it up. And this is not the exact image, but it's a lot closer to an actual pencil drawing. And that's what makes ChatGPT so much fun, because you can take stuff that you actually have drawn, or a picture that you put in. So AI can be a lot of fun. Now, I don't like it for people who copy other people's art. That's not a good thing. But there is a way of really enjoying any kind of AI if you do it ethically. And you know, you're not trying to steal somebody's creativity. That's not good. Okay, let me see if I can... Where should we begin? Well, I'm trying to show everybody on YouTube different things. Okay. Okay, and remember I told you about the thumbnail. Well, this is the picture that I took, and this is my new thumbnail. I mean, this is my new picture for YouTube. I took that today. As you can see, I've got the same clothes on. I took that today. And I was telling you about that curling iron I got from Amazon. I used it a little bit on my hair. Of course, I couldn't use it much because sitting down, it's you know, I still get wore out really easy. So I just put a few in there, and it was wonderful. And I lost it again. I can't keep from turning it off. Okay, so I asked them, can you make a YouTube thumbnail with this photo with a retro font with thank you in bold? That's what I asked it to do. Well, it made this, and boy, that does not look like me. I want to blow this up so you can see what ChatGPT. So, I then said, turn the photo into a comic book character, because I knew it was not going to look good. So this is what ChatGPT did for me with that. And for a comic book character, I think they did a good job. And so then I took that and put that in Canva. And I added the headline that says making crystals with a question mark, and I'm glad I did that with a question mark, because no, we did not make crystals, but we talked about making crystals, and we had a good time. So I showed you this because I'm basically gonna go and I'm going to sketch this out really fast. online with all of you here. And I don't have a mechanical pencil here. I do not have a mechanical pencil. I don't have any kind of pencil. I have that, but that's too... I just want to sketch that out. And I was just going to do a real fast, just super fast. Just so we would do some kind of something where we completed something in here. Yeah. So let me run into, oh, I can't run. See? Hey, Max. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to see if I can't get somebody to bring me a pencil. Hey, John. Yeah. Can you go on my desk and bring me that mechanical pencil? I wasn't going to do that. You and Max are going to have to do this. The crystal thing. Yeah, it's a lot more complicated. There are a couple of things that's going to be easy with table salt, but the other stuff is, yeah, it's got a bunch of different stuff, and it's going to take 24 to 48 hours. So what I thought we were going to do today, we're not, but at least they know now a little bit about it. And for all of y'all that are new to my channel, John is my son-in-law. He is Ashley's husband. Thank you. Mechanical pencil. And I am not a drawer. And this is not going to look like this. It already doesn't look like that. That is already too big. But you know, if you don't try, you don't learn. And this is fatter. And it doesn't matter if it's exact. Uh-oh. I think it's out of lead. Oh, it is. The lid won't. Okay. Now, as you can tell, oh, that so does not look right. And so I'm going to change it up a little bit because I don't like the way the head. And you can erase, you can. Just don't be afraid to try. That's the thing. And even though that does not have this, that doesn't mean, I'm just using this as a general. This is probably supposed to be up that way more. Actually, a little bit further up, I believe. Of course, have a good pencil that's not oh, this is crazy. The lead keeps going back in. Okay. Oh, I think I just lost all my lead. Nope, there's some more. Okay. And what I'm doing is I'm sort of looking at that and looking at this. And we have birds that okay. That is my drawing, if you can see it. That's the drawing from the book. It does not look the same. I just used it as a reference. Now I am going to go and use this as a reference. And I do have my watercolors up here, thankfully. And I do have water to spray them with. And I may have to fill this up. Okay. I don't have my big spray bottle up here, so my spray is not working now. What is going on? There it goes. Okay. And while we're waiting, I am gonna go and just roughly draw a twig. Okay, and then I am going to sort of erase it where I can still see where the lines are. But they're not as dark. And it does work with a regular eraser. Now they do, a lot of people will say use the kneaded eraser, and those work too. But if you're just light with the touch, you can still get your pencil markings light enough where, you know, and I don't have really good eyesight, okay? And so if I can still see it wearing glasses, then you can too. It just gives you sort of an outline. That doesn't mean you're going to stay in this outline, but it gives you some kind of guide of where it needs to be. Can you even see that? No, but I can. Maybe you can see it. I can't see it when I show it up in the camera, so okay. And I am going to get my little mixing thing out. I am going to pour a little bit of cleaning water. And then I'm going to get a brush out of here. I really, really like these brushes too. And we're basically going to just get a really light wash going on the outside. Just a really light. And this can be any way you want, okay? And I want a little bit of, yeah, it doesn't have to be realistic. It can be whatever you want. Just do whatever feels good to you at the very moment. Art should be for you. Art should be something that gives you joy and relaxation. And that you have fun with. And I should have held it down. See, I did not, but I'm fixing to. Got my little things here, and I'm going to hold it down. So I am putting I hope y'all are staying safe with these storms. They're supposed to be coming through here later today. Oh yeah, I like that. See, I like this right here. I like that a lot. Okay, I'm going to leave that alone. And of course, I'm going to get out the handy dandy hair dryer. It's in here somewhere. Here it is. Hold y'all's ears. And now I'm going to clean this off. And normally I would leave that, but I don't have one of these up here. So, and we're we're going to pick up some clean water to put up in here. And I am going to wet this down. I am going to wet this whole bird down. Okay, and we are going to go with a deeper blue. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, and we're just going to be putting it here and there. And I'm just picking up a little bit just to get different. And I'm just basically trying to paint some darker. And I'm trying to pull some of the water off of this just to get okay. Okay. And then I'm going to pick up some brown. And a little bit of yellow ochre. And I'm going to just start going down very loosely. And I am following the picture a little bit. And I am going to remove part of this. And then I will pick up a little bit darker. A little bit darker brown. And you know, birds are not all one color. And I'm just trying to define it just a little bit. And I am jaggeding this on purpose to make it look a little bit more feathery. You really don't want straight lines on any kind of animal because, of course, we know you really don't want a line at all there. Just a suggestion. And this is just a loose. This is not supposed to be okay. Let's get some gray going, which means I need to clean that out once again. Get some water and just pick up a little bit of that, mostly water, but a little bit. And let's see if we can't get that color in there. And this is a little bit darker, but with a touch of there we go. That's what I wanted right there. It's got blue with just a touch of green. And of course, and I'm just loosely, I've got a paper towel here, and you can, I don't know if you can see it, but I am just, and I'm elongating these feathers. This is a little bit longer than what I had. And you can do it any way you want to do it. That is just the way that I want to do it. I like long feathers. Okay. And then I'm just picking up a little bit of that color just to get in here and sort of just define . And the only way I can tell you, you don't need to be listening to me. You can watch me. You can get ideas from me. But the only way you're going to be happy with what you do is if you do it, if it's yours. I know some people would say that what I'm doing is all wrong, and that's okay. It might be all wrong for them, and that's okay, but it's not wrong for me because I'm the one that's doing it, and I'm getting a lot of enjoyment out of it, so it's not wrong for me. So you've just gotta do it your way. Just do it your way, and don't let anybody tell you that it's wrong, please. If you enjoy it, if you like the outcome, if you have fun in the process, that's all that matters. That really is all that matters, ultimately. Okay. Okay, and I'm just trying to add a little bit more color, but I don't want it to be rigid. I don't like these lines. And so I'm going to dry it, and then I'm going to add more color. Okay. And let me get a dry brush. And see, I'm working it too much. This is my problem. I cannot be loose with my paints, and that's something I'm going to have to learn. I'm too tight with my painting, and I know it, and I still am. Okay. Okay. And it's never going to look like, well, it's not in my case anyway. I don't know. Maybe it will. I can't ever get mine to look like what I think it's going to look. Okay. Okay. Yep. Okay. Good enough. It doesn't look anything like this bird, does it? But it's okay. Yeah, I've got a little bit of gouache white, and I'm going to Now I'm trying to blend it. So where it's not just there we go. I like it better this way. And basically just sort of and you can keep going back and forth as much as you want. And I am just basically trying to get some of these definite lines out of here. I do not like the chest at all. But as you can see, you can play and you can play and you can play. As long as you want to play. But because I think this video is probably really, really long, since we started out with what we thought we were going to be doing is making crystals, and it turned out, of course, into being watercolors again, only because I don't have anything else up here I can do, or we would have been doing silicone rubber, because I so definitely want to do silicone rubber. This is too harsh for me. This just looks too elongated. And yeah, there it is. See, I don't give up. I just keep trying until. And sometimes I really wish I could just do it loose like that. Just wash it and be okay with it. And just let it be. But see, I'm just not built that way. Okay, I just not. Is just too. I need more blue down there. That's what I need. I need more blue. I need to break that up. Yep. That's what I needed. And then I need to bring that over that way. Okay, I'm fixing to give up and say enough's enough, because it's too fat up here and I don't really know how to fix that. There's no definition of the head. Oh goodness, hurry up. Okay. Well, let's put, yes, this did not turn out the way that I was hoping. No, and it was not fast, and it was not one of these speedy, oh, let's just do this real quick. Nope, that's not the way that it worked. And now I'm just gonna speedy try to do the tree trunk that the bird is. Yeah, it looks nothing like that bird. I think I made it too fat. Okay. This is the part that's fun because you can, this is almost abstracty. Abstracty, is that the same word, is it? And it sort of takes away from some of the not so great parts. Yes, I did it like it was wings on purpose, just to give it a different okay. 2 hours later. I have no idea. I get lost when I'm doing this kind of stuff. So I really don't have any idea how long this video is or how long I've been doing this. And it really doesn't matter, does it? Because I do this and I bring you along, and the ones that want to watch it will stay, and the ones that don't won't. That's sort of the way that I look at it anyway. Okay. Okay. Oh, I dropped my paper towel and I don't know where it went. I know that it's getting better. I'm going to just do this. Let's see. Let's see what this. Okay. We're almost done, y'all. And for anyone who has stayed here the whole time, thank you so much. I know watercolor is not for everybody, and I know that I'm not, you know, you can learn a lot more from someone else because this is my journey too. I'm just learning too. But sometimes, you know, it's nice to do it with someone else that's just learning. And of course, y'all know my philosophy on art. The only rule to art is there are no rules. It is your creation, so you do it your way. And I know a lot of people would argue with me over that, and that's okay. That's what they think, and that's okay. We all have our own opinions, and you know, that's what makes it so great. We're all unique, and we're all so different, and we're all special in our own way. And I'm not trying to make this realistic. I'm just trying to define it a little bit more than what it is. So at least you can tell that it is a branch. And with that, I think I'm gonna say good enough. Let's try it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, just break that. Well, this is what I was going off of. Let me lift this up. Okay. Yes, I'm still here. This is what I was going for. This is what I got. Yeah, not the same, but you can still tell it's a bird, and it's my bird, and I'm actually quite happy with it. I hope whoever is following my watercolor journey, and they're on theirs too, I hope you're just having fun with it. It should not be stressful at all. Watercolors, when you pick up this brush and put it in a watercolor and throw it on the paper, it should release all your stress. It should take all the negativity and just wipe it out completely. Do not let something that could be so much joy turn into something so stressful because you're trying to reach perfection. Just have fun with it. Don't worry about rules, because remember, the only rule is there are no rules. And if you remember that, then you will have so much joy. And this is really good therapy. Life is hard. Do something that makes it a little bit more joyful. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up, like button, and if you've not subscribed, it's free. I would love for you to do so. And of course, please leave a comment down below, even if it's just to say, hey. I love hearing from each and every one of you. Again, thank you so much, and have a great day. Bye-bye.